Hello. This video demonstrates how to use the Mendeley Web Importer to add articles to your library. The Mendeley Web Importer is a browser extension available in Chrome and Firefox. This allows you to add PDF articles directly from a web page to your library. This process saves you a step compared to other methods of adding articles, in which you download the article first and then go back to your library, locate the file on your computer, and import it that way. Once you've installed the web importer in your browser of choice, the process of importing articles is pretty simple. You start by locating a PDF file that you want to add to your library, and it works best if you find a web page that has just the PDF on it and nothing else. Then you will click on the Mendeley icon at the top of your browser. You will check that the file was identified correctly so that Mendeley recognizes that there's a PDF there, and it will pull that file in addition to the citation information it found. If that all looks good, you will select which folder you want it to go in, if any, and then you will click Add. The next time you sync your library, the article should be there for you to view. Let's take a look at that process with an example now. Alright, here I am on the page for an article that I found using one of the Cook Library's databases. This page has the full text of the article in HTML format, but remember that Mendeley can only store files that are PDFs. So before I try to use the web importer, I need to click on the Download PDF link. Alright, now I have my PDF. Note that the PDF is really the only thing on this page. It's not embedded in the center of a different web page. The PDF is all that's there. That's what you want, and that's what's going to work for the web importer. If you're using a database that doesn't get you to this page, so all you can get is an embedded file situation, that's a case where the web importer probably won't work for you, and instead you'll need to download the PDF onto your computer and import it using one of the other article import methods. But let's try the web importer for this one. To get to the web importer, I look at the top right-hand corner of my browser and click on the red Mendeley icon. It's a red square with a white M in the center. That's going to reload my file for me. And for some reason in Firefox, I usually have to click on the icon a second time to get it to show up for real. Here we go. So what you're looking for is this web importer pop-up on the right-hand side of the screen. If I look towards the center of the pop-up, it tells me that one reference was detected on this page, and it has the title of my article, and it has this red text next to it that says PDF. If you see the red PDF text, that means that Mendeley recognized that you have a PDF file there, so when you go to import this, it's going to take both the citation information and the associated file. If it didn't say PDF, then it would only be saving the reference, so that's a case where you would need to download the file on your own and then import it. But in this case, everything looks good. If I saw any glaring errors with the citation information here, I could click on this pencil icon and make some edits before I import it to my library, but that's something that I could change after importing as well. So in this case, I'm going to click Cancel Edits at the top. Then my next step, since everything looks good, is to check the box next to the title of the article to tell Mendeley that this is what I want to import. And then my final step before adding it is to check this drop-down menu at the top next to where it says Select All, and if there's a particular folder where I want this to go, then I could import directly into that folder rather than sorting it later. In this case, I will just leave it and import to my library, and then I can decide where I want it to go later. But this can save you a step if you know exactly where you want it to fall within your organizational scheme. So now I will click the Add icon. It will take a second to load, and then once it's done, if you look back at that section that has the information about the article, you will see it says PDF with a check mark next to it and reference with a check mark. So that means that the import was successful and it grabbed both the PDF and the reference information. So now if I go back and look at my web library, the next time it syncs, I should be able to access that article.
Thank you for watching. If you have questions, the Cook Library is happy to help. Visit bit.ly/tu Ask a Librarian for details on how to contact a librarian through chat, email, text message, or individual appointment.